everybody, Kevin here from Crackberry.com, live on location at CES 2013. We're standing outside because I've been walking around the last couple hours. I just had to get out of there and get some fresh air. It's the Wednesday afternoon as I'm recording this. Been so busy at this show, just walking around, a lot of meetings set up. Not a lot of time to write, so I want to take a couple minutes and catch up with everybody. Not a big show for Blackberry, obviously, in terms of setting up a booth or anything like that and showing things off, because January 30th is just around the corner. It'd be a waste of shareholder money if they were set up here. But that doesn't mean RIM didn't have a presence at the show. They had a lot of people in town actually taking care of business. So yes, C-level guys were in town, not so much meeting with the press like us, but doing the business side of things, talking to carriers and partners and everybody else. But yesterday I did have 3 meetings with RIM representatives. I talked to Marty Malik, I talked to Alex Saunders, and I talked to Richard Pizzatine. So Marty and Alec are both on the app side of things. Marty's the guy in charge of a team of 100 people at RIM who are tasked with getting all the big name apps onto Blackberry. So the big guys, the big vendors, the big apps I know a lot of you want to see on the platform. Had a great chat, and I think RIM's in a pretty good position. I mean, I think there's going to be a couple of the big name apps missing at launch. That's bound to happen a little bit, but I think their app portfolio is going to be really promising, which is what we want to see. They've taken a really good approach too, going after the big name apps, but also going after a lot of the local apps. So let's say for me in Canada, RIM went out, they isolate all of the apps people want there. So you get like your local banking apps, things like the Tim Hortons, Find a Timmy's app, that kind of stuff. And they've really done that all around the world. So between the local big kind of app catalog that they've targeted and then the big name apps, I think it's going to be a pretty good ecosystem there. And then Alex Saunders' team is tasked with more of the independent developers, building that big Blackberry developer community around the world. They've been working their butts off on that for over a year now, and I think that's coming along pretty well too. Will we see the 70,000 number at launch that was kind of mentioned before? We'll see. It's in the final stretch here. A lot of developers that I know personally are right now putting their apps into Blackberry World as the days close, coming up to the launch. But you know what? It's not about numbers to me. It's about quality, getting the apps you want. And I think RIM is going to be, if there's a line where there's not enough good apps and over that line, I think RIM's going to cross it. It's going to be probably the biggest new platform amount of apps in a catalog when things go live. So they're not going to be competing with 500,000 apps, but I think they're going to have a great app story to tell, which is what I'm looking for. There's a few ones I really want to see there. We won't get into it right now. But one thing is for sure, if you're a Blackberry fan like I am, you want to see apps on Blackberry 10, feel free to reach out to developers directly, but be tactful, right? I mean, we can use things like port to Blackberry.com, which kind of automates the process. That's pretty cool, but I think better than that, reach out directly, via Twitter, write a message, write an email, tell developers you want to see their apps to Blackberry. The more we do that, the more it's going to help. So be vocal, be tactful, do it with, use your head when you do these things, don't yell, but I think you're going to see the demand come. And what you're going to see is as Blackberry 10 hits the market and the excitement builds, that's when a lot of developers who maybe been sitting on the fence are going to really pick up steam. The other thing too is, I think RIM is going to do a really good job communicating what's happening on the app front as the 30th hits. Right now they can't say everything because, it's secret, right? The partners they're working with, they can't announce their apps for them. So it's going to be up to partners to start announcing, and I think you'll see that start to happen soon, maybe even before the January 30th and at that day and thereafter. So expect the app story to get really exciting. Talking to Richard, he's the managing director of, the US market for Blackberry, and his message was pretty clear. And we talked about a lot of things, but I think the big takeaway there was that when it comes to that enterprise space in the US, there are a lot of companies on the Fortune 500 right now who are actively running Blackberry 10 devices in sort of a test phase. Not just testing, but they have the legit hardware. He shared a lot of great quotes with me coming back from those companies, and it's very positive, right? I think Crackberry readers know what Blackberry 10 offers to enterprise. It's a device for getting things done. I think Blackberry Balance, which is really makes the device 2 devices in one, a work and personal device. Companies are loving that as they test it, and I think you're going to see great support from enterprise. And RIM doesn't want to wait for January 30th and then start making sales to enterprise. It's very clear to me that they're doing that now, and there's going to be some good uptake there. So overall message really positive. As for my surprise on the Blackberry front, last night on the Tuesday night we did a bit of a Mobile Nations meetup party, and guess who showed up? Dorsten Hines. He crashed our party, he drank our beer, and we love him for it. It was a great time. He hung out with the NVIDIA contest winners we have on hand at this show, all our writers, and just great to see that kind of support. I mean, it's awesome to see Blackberry these days. Such a great company, and big changes over the past year. And January 30th, we're going to see it really hit the market and go into our consumers' hands. So that's a little bit of my CES update right now. You know, really when it comes to Blackberry, it's all about the 30th. You know, we weren't coming here expecting to see a bunch of Blackberry announcements. We have seen some good things though. Casemate, for example, had Blackberry 10 cases on hand at their booth. There's obviously quite a few built for Blackberry partners out there, and you can expect that guys like OtterBox and that are going to have a good selection of third-party accessories at launch. You're going to see Blackberry obviously have a good suite of accessories at launch too, so that's really promising to me. You know, walking around the show too, there's still a lot of Blackberries here. You know, I almost take a pessimistic approach that in the US we're not going to see a lot. And I've seen a lot of bold 9900s, I've seen a lot of bold 9780s. You can tell a lot of business folks still have their business devices. And you see a lot of consumers have it too, or they're dual wheeling. So, you know, not a dead show from a Blackberry representative standpoint. And what's really cool is all the badge scanners and stuff are still powered by like Blackberry 8800s, which is old school and shows the long-standing reliability of the OS. Maybe I'll end this one here. Let's cut it, and yeah, that's my update from CES. Hope you liked it.